Okay, so in step 2, we are going to color our eggs. The egg that you're looking at here is one that I opened from the freshman folder, simply called Egg, as you can see right up here in the title bar. It's a brown egg because if a white egg were used for this, we would not be able to change the hue, seeing as white has no hue. It is what we call a neutral, meaning it does not have a hue of any other color. So what we're going to do with the brown egg is transform. We're going to start off, before making any changes to it, by creating a bunch of different layers of this very same egg. I'm going to use the magic wand tool to select the white space around the egg. And then I'm going to go up to select in the menu, or on the menu bar, and I'm going to select the opposite of the white area, which is the egg itself. That was select inverse. At this point, you can use the Control key and press the J key about 10 times. We have an assortment of eggs here. I'm going to drag this color for this layer palette out so we can see everything. Those are all my layers of my egg. Now, for starters, we are in layer 1, copy 11 right now. I'm going to go to Image, Adjustments, and Replace Color. If I click anywhere in this egg with the sample tool, this little eyedropper, I'm going to choose a shade of brown. Everything that you're seeing in this little white selection area is the same shade. If I drag the hue slider, you will see that color change. By using the Add tool, Add to Sample, I can click on the rest of these areas that aren't yet changed until the whole egg is white. And you'll notice I clicked on this picture. I can click in this too if I want to, but this is just as effective and it gives you a great result. When I'm done with that, I'm going to select OK, and I have a purple egg in layer 1, copy 11. I'm going to turn off the visibility of that so I can see the brown egg underneath, and then I'm going to click on the next egg down, and I'm going to do this again. Image Adjustments, Replace Color. I already have a little selected area there. Let's make this one a pretty turquoise color. I'm going to add to the sample. You're going to notice that at no time am I clicking on this little box or on this little box. We're letting the hue slider do all of the work. Okay, I jumped ahead a little bit here. You may have noticed I have a lot of my eggs colored, and what I've got down in my layer 1 copy 3 is actually an egg with polka dots on it, and I'm going to show you how to do that now. Make sure that you get about 10 eggs colored, maybe even more, before you go to this step, because it's more important that you have colored eggs than that you have decorated eggs. So for your picture, you're going to want maybe 2 or 3 decorated. What you want to do is, in one of your solidly colored eggs, you are going to use the elliptical marquee tool to select various sized polka dots or areas of polka dots all over the egg. If you use the tools up here, this creates a new selection. This creates the option to add to a selection. We're going to click on that one so that we can make more than one dot. You're going to notice that that little plus sign you're seeing has or the crosshairs have a plus sign next to them so that you can see that it's adding selection. Now the interesting thing is, in terms of art, as some of these dots are going around the egg, they are going to be less round. For example, if you were at the bottom of the egg, it's going to be more of an oval because the shape of the circle is reaching around the edge of the egg. If you don't do that, it's okay. You're also going to want to have some circles or dots going off of the egg. Okay, sorry about that. So we're going to finish adding our dots around, and you're going to notice I'm putting different sizes all around the egg. You do want some hanging off the edge. It's not going to affect anything on the background surrounding this egg. Okay, so I think we've got a pretty good collection of dots there. What we're going to do next is, again, use the image adjustments, replace color option. If you drag your slider and then use the add to sample, I really don't like that color, but we'll fix that in just a minute. You want to click in all these dots that don't look like they're filled entirely, because it's important that they will be. I'm going to change this maybe to a little bit of yellow. That looks a little more natural. We're going to select OK, and if you hit Control D and deselect the areas you had selected, it looks incredibly real. It looks like you can see the texture of the egg and the dots, and this sure beats using a paintbrush, in which case you would have had very flat areas of color, as opposed to having highlights and shadow in the areas that you have now. So we'll try one more. On the yellow egg, I'm going to create a stripe. For this one, I'm going to want to subtract from a selection. My first selection will be an ellipse or an oval shape, and then from that I'm going to subtract all of this extra space so that I'm left just with a stripe. So I'm making a second ellipse, and this is all the space I have left to color. Awesome. I'm going to go to Image, Adjustments, Replace Color, click in that stripe, I drag the hue slider to a bluish shade, and then I finished filling in these areas that needed to be colored. You don't want to see any black in your selection over here. And then select OK. The nice thing about doing this is as long as you still have the ellipse tool selected, I can drag this. Change my mind. Gotta do this first. Click on the new selection tool, and then you can drag that selection down and make a second stripe. Image, adjustments, replace color. This time we'll choose a green. The keyboard might be a little loud in this recording, but you're getting the idea. Select OK, Control D, and that egg is done as well. So I've got three pretty cool designs for our eggs. Have fun with that. You can overlap different stripes if you want to, and as long as you have the selection tool available to you, you can actually transform those shapes as well. I'll show you real quick how to do that. In history, before I deselected, if I went to select, transform selection, I could actually rotate this stripe and put it on my egg right over here. Edit, image, adjustment, replace color. This is interesting because when you change the color here, you may want the blue and the green stripes to remain the same, but if you click on them, it unnaturally becomes an entirely different color. So, have at it, do what you want. As long as you have some really creative and realistic looking eggs, you're going to be in good shape for this project. Make sure you save your egg as a Photoshop image. It should be last name, my egg, and save that to your documents for the next step. That's it.